What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. The road to WrestleMania stops at John Cena's hometown of Boston as John Cena returns for a special appearance. With WrestleMania 39 less than 4 weeks away, what will the WWE do to hype its biggest event of the year? Well, join us now as we look at this week's edition of Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Vince McMahon back in gorilla position and now having a mustache, wrestlers are concerned about WWE releases, a top star won't be making it to WrestleMania 39, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. As always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Kevin Owens beats Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa is an unstoppable monster. Or is he? Well, Kevin Owens came close to beating Solo, so close that Jey Uso interfered in the match. While there's no guarantee KO would have pinned Sikoa, it's good to see the WWE providing some suspense as to whether Sikoa can be pinned or submitted. Number 2, a perfect pair. Who would have thought Carmella and Chelsea Green would work so well together? The two are a match made in hell for Adam Pearce, but a match made in heaven for fans who enjoy watching their diva-esque behavior. Could this be the beginning of a beautiful friendship? Number 3, Logan Paul heals it up. It looks like Logan Paul is ready to test the waters as a heel again. You may recall that Logan wanted to work as a babyface when he signed with WWE last year, however his promo against Seth Rollins was that of an arrogant heel. While the case can be made that Logan is a tweener, his promo and ability to rile up the crowd suggest he can slide into heeldom with little effort. Number 4, a great confrontation. Last night's mic showdown between Cena and Austin Theory was an exciting build-up and a preview for the WrestleMania match. Cena initially rejected Austin Theory's gift of a WrestleMania match, with John telling the US champion that he doesn't believe him and that fans don't believe him, and Theory himself doesn't even believe him. The 16-time world champion didn't hold anything back and finished by telling Theory that A-Town has everything to lose if Cena beats him and nothing to gain if he beats Cena. But Theory didn't back down, telling John, "I'm not going anywhere, just like that bald spot on the back of your head." Theory accused Cena of showing no respect for his fans by turning down the match. Number 5, a good build-up for Mania. Raw was everything you'd expect from a show designed to build up WrestleMania. The WWE announced 3 titanic matches, and they furthered storylines guaranteed to lead to more match announcements. And the Bloodline saga continues. And we're glad to see the Bloodline saga played out last night rather than drag it out. The WWE knows it has a good thing with this storyline and occasionally milks it more than it should. Not so last night, as the WWE finally answered the question of where Jey Uso's loyalties lie. And now the Bloodline looks stronger than ever, which could mean big problems for the WWE's top babyfaces. But that was the good. What about the bad? It's number 1, burying wrestlers. The WWE did a good job burying their undercard. And we're not talking about Baron Corbin's weekly burial, but that of Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano. While Cena made some good points criticizing A-Town, he went overboard with him. Unless he scores a major win over Cena, this promo could do as much damage to Theory as it did when Austin won the Money in the Bank briefcase. Likewise, Edge's comments that Finn Balor cost him a win over someone he should have beat Theory, while Edge cost Balor a match over someone he should have beat Johnny Gargano, did nothing for Gargano. Unless they revisit things with Johnny Wrestling and Edge, it was a poor choice of words and did little to further the Balor vs Edge rivalry. Number 2, slow storytelling. Sometimes the WWE does a good job pacing its storylines, and then there are other storylines like Miz and Dexter Lumis. Elias and Rick Boogs is one such story, and while it could be interesting, it doesn't seem worth the long build-up. And too many wrestlers missing. Why does Triple H have so many superstars missing in action? Triple H has built a wider and deeper roster, but it's clear he's losing focus on the undercard he supposedly wanted to re-energize. This has led to some questionable booking decisions too. For example, was Ziggler the right person to job the Omos, and how did Ali get a match for Ziggler? Every week it's becoming clear that as good as Triple H is doing, he's over his head when it comes to managing such a large roster. That was nothing downright ugly, as last night's Raw was a solid show that furthered TV storylines, built up Mania, and provided an enjoyable 3 hours of wrestling. What do you guys think of Raw last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at Vince McMahon's shocking spot at Raw. At top of today's news is a report that Vince McMahon not only showed up for Raw in Boston, but that he stood at gorilla position all night. This is big news as it's the first time Vince McMahon is believed to have been backstage at Raw since he retired last summer. Was Vince's visit a trip down memory lane or a dry runner running the show again? Well, let's look at what we know so far. Well, chatter began after Brian Alvarez tweeted, "Vince is at Raw." The IWC lit up as fans and pundits wondered what Vince McMahon was doing there. Apparently, Wrestling News pointed out that since Raw was in Boston, they're not far away from the company headquarters, so it's very possible that he was just visiting for tonight only. There was talk that McMahon may have wanted to come and see his good friend John Cena. Our Meltzer reported on Vince's presence at the show saying he was in Gorilla all night. What does that tell you? He wasn't barking orders at people or anything like that, but he was in Gorilla all night. I was told that they tell you that he's only there to visit John Cena. That's the story, but there's more to it than that. PW Insider's Mike Johnson reports the usual production executive team were handling things no different than usual. WrestleVotes continued this narrative, tweeting, "While Vince McMahon was in Gorilla the entire show and said to be in a pleasant mood, I'm told his presence backstage didn't impact anything script-wise last night." But not everyone agrees on Vince's role, as WKRD Wrestling tweeted, "Vince McMahon is indeed backstage at Raw. While this is his first time backstage since retiring, he's had a hand in more creative than people realize." As we remarked before, the biggest proof of Vince McMahon's involvement in creative is the product itself. If fans start seeing that old McMahon malarkey, we'll know he's back for good. But he's also sporting a mustache. And now for the Mr. McMahon news that probably everyone is talking about, is Mr. McMahon's mustache. While it hasn't been confirmed, several sites including PW Insider and Wrestling News are reporting that McMahon is now the proud owner of a new mustache. This is quite the departure for a man who was rumoured to keep an electric razor with him at all times because he wouldn't let the beard win. Do you think a mustache would suit him though? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, 3 major matches made for Mania. A Raw featured some huge angles, several which focused on setting up some major matches for Mania. Here are the 3 bouts now booked for the Showcase of the Immortals. A US Championship match as Austin Theory goes up against John Cena, Seth Rollins vs Logan Paul, Damage Control vs Trish Stratus, and Becky Lynch and Lita. They now have officially booked 7 matches for WrestleMania 39 and many more are expected. But what do you guys think of the lineup so far? W or an L? Next up, are wrestlers concerned about releases? One interesting rumor making the rounds comes from Wrestling News, which reports some individuals in WWE are concerned that they will be making releases soon. The WWE traditionally trims the roster after Mania, so there may be a cause for concern, especially when you consider how many people Triple H has signed and how many seem to be idle. Next up, Ronda Rousey injury update. Ronda Rousey is said to be dealing with an old injury she re-aggravated, which has led to questions about being cleared. The Mania match involving Damage Control vs Lita, Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus has only added to the mystery, as Lita and Lynch are currently the women's tag champs. Will they work both nights at Mania? While we don't know the answers, Meltzer is reporting they still have a tag title match. That's going to be 2 matches coming out of this program. Whoever the champions will wrestle Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, but they're also doing the 6-woman tag. The current talk is that while Rousey is still dealing with an injury, she'll be able to work in a tag match. Next up, Jey Uso sends a message. Jey Uso is making a succinct announcement of why he's rejoined the Bloodline. Main Event Jey posted a picture of himself on Instagram with the caption, "Family First." What do you guys think of Jey's return to the Bloodline? Next up, MVP putting a new stable together. Is MVP reforming the Hurt Business? Well, the WWE has been teasing this for months now, with MVP showing the side of former clients Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, as well as working behind the scenes to get Bobby Lashley's suspension on Raw lifted. While Lashley still refuses to do business with MVP, a recent backstage photo has led to fans thinking that MVP may be putting together an entirely revamped version. The photo has him, Omos, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins and NXT star Carmelo Hayes. Triple H seems to love putting factions together, and there may be rumors of Carmelo possibly joining a revamped Hurt Business. Hayes also worked a dark match on Raw, which could lead to a main roster call-up very soon. And finally, WWE scrambling to put Hall of Fame together. Last but not least is the WWE scrambling to put its 2023 Hall of Fame ceremony together. The Hall of Fame ceremony is just over 3 weeks away, and so far no one has been named for the induction. Meltzer commented on this week's Observer, "By the way, I'm not at liberty to say, but I do know people are being asked for the Hall of Fame. So I don't know why we're a couple of weeks away and they haven't announced anyone, but I guess that's Triple H's thing to announce everyone in the last week or something, because we're in the last 2 weeks, we're running low on time and nobody's been announced." But who should be announced for the Hall of Fame though? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.